What's going on, guys? Welcome to the I and Y podcast. This is my co-host Icon, and I am Youth. And yeah, we're just gonna talk about why we decided to start a podcast today, and what we plan to do, and what you guys should expect to see in the future. Do you want to go ahead and give your take, Icon?
Uh, so basically, the reason I want to start this podcast is I just want to have like conversations with people or have deep conversations with about various different topics.
Yeah, so Icon actually came to me with this idea a while ago. We're both, if you guys didn't know, I'm a streamer, Icon's a streamer. The reason of how we all basically met is that I was streaming on Facebook. Icon also streams on Facebook. It's a really weird platform. I don't know why we even stream on Facebook. We should just be streaming on Twitch, but we both decided to stream on Facebook a long time ago. We're almost like actually 3 years ago or more. And I was streaming on Facebook, very small following. Icon was streaming on Facebook with a very small following. I reached out to Icon because I wanted to make some friends. I didn't have really any friends that streamed or anything like that. And we ended up playing Fortnite together. And that's how we kind of started our friendship. And for a while, me and Icon for about 3 years have been just streaming and gaming together. And, we kind of just want to find a different way to put out content. Me, what I'm interested in is putting out content. I love uploading videos. I love editing videos. I love doing all sorts of stuff like that. So I feel like a podcast would be a very fun experience. And me and Icon, we talk all the time in game. We tell a bunch of stories, talk about a lot of interesting topics too. So we're both pretty up there with knowing about social media and stuff. And we should just start recording it now. I think that's basically it. I want to just start recording and going around our topics and going around our stories, everything.
I both feel like when we play games all the time that we have so many different conversations that are very interesting that never really people never really hear, and we just find it funny and we have a lot of unique perspectives on things. So I feel like we feel like putting it together in a podcast might have some interest to some viewers that are interested in these type of conversations.
Yeah,
And we've been, like I said, we've
exactly.
been friends for I don't know, almost 3 years now. Like when I started playing Fortnite, which is the game that we both streamed on Facebook, and as I was streaming, eventually like youth reached out to me. We ended up playing, and over the course of time, we started playing more and more games together, and just built up our friendship to the point where we joke about everything now. We decided to make a podcast with it.
Do you remember when I reached out to you, Icon? Do you remember how that went exactly?
Not really. I think you DM'd me or something, or you might have popped in my chat, and then some.
So how I remember it is when I was playing Fortnite, I didn't really know anybody, but there was the big group of people, the big streamers at that time. And I remember that I saw you playing with the big streamer. I saw you playing with
Yeah.
and then after I saw you play, I actually clicked on because he tagged you. So I clicked on your name in the Facebook thing, and I like saw your following. And I think at that time, I think I had like 2,000, 3,000 followers, and I think you had like around the same. I think you had like 4,000, 5,000, maybe, or maybe you were
Uh,
close to 10K, and I was like
I don't think we were
far.
up there anywhere at all. I think I was still reaching my first 1,000 goal, and you
Oh,
were
maybe
you were similar.
yes. That's what it was. I think I had like 700. I think you had like 900.
Yeah, something
I
like
think
that.
that's where. So I was like, okay, so basically with other streamers, obviously you don't want to reach out to someone that has 50K when you have like 600 followers. Obviously, they're not gonna want to play with you because there's no benefit for them. There's nothing really for them to gain. So I saw Icon was just as small as I, and I saw that he was playing with the big guys. So I was like, well, maybe if I reach out to Icon, I could end up playing with the big guys. Maybe get my name out there a little bit. And then so I found your page. I followed you. You weren't even live at the time. You literally were playing with like a streamer that was pulling like crazy numbers, and you weren't even streaming. Like, why weren't you streaming? Like, what was the point?
I don't remember back then. Back then I had a lot of like technical issues where it was like maybe I wasn't streaming because I didn't have the right things, or it was lagging, or
Hmm.
like my focus back then was trying to get the stream to work, but I didn't have the right equipment for it at the time. So there was a
Okay.
lot of issues, random issues, whether it be internet or computer issues or.
So yeah, you were playing with pulling numbers, and I clicked on your stream because I never saw Icon or him pop up on my page or anything. And then I saw he was a small streamer. He wasn't streaming, so I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, why does he have a page and he's not streaming? And he's playing with somebody that's pulling crazy numbers. at that time. You know, at that time, crazy numbers to me was like 100 viewers, and uh, and then I followed his page, and I think it was like the next day you went live, and then I popped in your chat. You were actually playing with followers. I was like, oh, this is perfect time.
I
I
think
popped in
that's
your
what it was.
chat. Yeah. I was you were playing with followers, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. And so I messaged in your chat, and I was like, hey, can I join in? And you were like, sure. And then I played with you, and then I don't know how well I played. I think I played like on your level or like close to your level, you know,
I
skill
don't know.
wise. Back then, I think there was back then when Fortnite was like first starting. I think we were pretty close in skill level. And well, back then, and then you took your big jump after you kept playing after I stopped. But and then I think after that we played, right? And then after that first time we played, we actually didn't like play with each other for a while.
Yeah, after the first time it was a while.
Yeah,
Maybe
after,
maybe I started popping in your chat, or you started popping in mine more often. You probably see me go live, so you started
it,
commenting or something like that.
yeah. I think it was just like we played, and then we didn't really play again for a while, and then we did play, and then slowly I guess we like started like popping each other's chats, but not playing with each other. And then after that we started playing with each other more. I don't know when we started playing with each other more. I think it was when like a new season of Fortnite came out, and you were streaming more, and I wasn't. I was streaming more, so we were both streaming a bunch. Even though you had like all your stuff going on at the same time, you had like school, you
Yeah.
had work. Like Icon was at this point in time, he was a double major. He was working a full time job. Wait, were you working a full time job?
Uh, Probably
I think
depends on the
Icon was.
time. I don't remember the exact time frame. At some points, I was.
Yeah, he was working a full time job, and he was streaming like 10 hours. Like not even exaggerating. I think he was streaming like maybe 7 hours a day.
Yeah, I split them
Like
up. I wake up at like 4 in the morning. I go live till like 7. I go to class. Then in between classes, I would stream, and then after class, if I
this
didn't have
guy,
work or if I didn't have
this
to go to the
guy.
gym.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was back when like streaming was like a passion. It was like super fun just to get on the stream and seeing some type of growth or getting better at the game itself. And the game itself was super enjoyable at the time. There was so much fun stuff going on at the time with the
yeah,
game.
just to
Non-stop
even go
updates.
live was just so much fun, especially
Yeah,
because also Facebook gaming was new. So like we would be getting like such it was like a new streaming platform, so it was definitely untouched, and we were like the first people to like start streaming on it. Now it's a bigger streaming platform. Now it's actually known because of bigger streamers. But it was so untouched, and it was just so fun to just hit the go live button and just do anything. Like you could literally do anything and just stream, and no one would really care. Like now you kind of have like a plan. Now it's kind of like okay, I'm gonna go live with this, and I'm gonna talk
yeah.
about
It
this. You
became more
know?
professional early on. It was just like everyone was playing Fortnite, and it was just like have fun with friends and try to get better at the game. And as the game progressed, the game became like more of a comp scene. But early on, it was just like just have fun and try to be like really good at the game, get a lot of kills, and it was just
Yeah.
exciting just to go live and find new friends in a game that you've never really played too much of, and yeah, that was when it was exciting.
It's crazy because back then the most important thing was like becoming better at the game. Like everybody wanted to be so good at Fortnite that they'd play with people that were better than them. They'd play with people that like
That people
they
just keep
literally didn't care.
people just keep their KD on the screens and stuff. That was funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
KD went the wins. Like people would like literally like it didn't care if you were a nobody, if you were a somebody, but if you were good at Fortnite, like you were playing with people that wanted to be good at Fortnite. You know, like being good at Fortnite back then was like such a high thing for your reputation. I think it was really
yeah,
good for you because it helped you get in with a lot of the big streamers because everybody would talk about how you were so good at Fortnite, you know? And
yeah,
so they were like, "Oh, I want to play with him if he's better than me or if he's good or if he's that better."
yeah. It definitely helped. I was never really the talkative type. I was always the I'll put my head down, grind the game, I'll get good at it, and then let the skill speak for itself. And somehow I managed to I don't play with other players that are also really good at the game, or they were bigger streamers than I. I really don't. Somehow started connecting with them, and it was more like I think the very first time I got connected with anyone was I was just streaming. Some streamer popped in my chat,
He saw your
so
skills.
I was good. Shared my stream on his own page, and then that kind of helped a little bit. and then that maybe his share like got some other streamer from to like pop in, and I feel like back then there wasn't so many people on Facebook, so when you used to scroll through the streamer category,
Oh
you would
yeah.
only see like 10 people on.
Yep.
So like I'm sure a lot of other streamers would also just go and watch other streamers. And they were like, hey, you want to connect? Or I'll get DMs like, hey, you trying to play? I'm like, yeah, I'm down. And it was such an easier way of finding connections because there wasn't as many streamers to connect with. So like it was like a tight knit group, and it was much easier to like play with bigger streamers. Even though back then big streamers weren't like huge, they were just a couple, maybe even 60 to 100 was pretty big back then.
They were big compared to where the platform was at the time.
Yeah, I mean they
They
were in
were
the
like,
forefront of it. Yeah,
hmm they ran it. They ran Facebook gaming basically. And if you would basically be on their page, you'd be on the whole Facebook gaming stream page, because since at that point they were at the top of the Facebook gaming, and Facebook gaming was like just become a thing. Like, since there was no other competition basically except for themselves, if you were like in their stream, you were at the top of the Facebook gaming stream,
yeah,
because they would have run that page. And then once more people started coming, more competition started coming, it started becoming more saturated. But back then, like, literally, like, it would be like 5 main people that you would ever see on a Facebook gaming page. And anybody that had a Facebook, anybody that was interested in gaming that had a Facebook, like, it would pop up on your page if you just liked video games. Doesn't
yeah.
matter what video games it was. Like, now it's like categories. Now it's like, okay, if you like Rust, then Rust is gonna pop up on your page. If you like
The
Valorant,
algorithm,
Valorant's gonna pop up on your page.
algorithm grew.
Yeah, exactly. But back then it'd be like, if you like any video games, then these gamers are gonna pop up on your page. It doesn't matter what they play. It doesn't matter if they play Fortnite. Doesn't matter if they play Monopoly. Doesn't matter what they play. But they're gonna pop up on your page because they're gaming and you like video games.
But I think back then it was only Fortnite and like mobile games, but
Oh
mainly
yeah, Fortnite
Fortnite was
ran.
the that even on Twitch, Fortnite was like the main game. Like everywhere was Fortnite.
Oh, that's true. Back then, Fortnite was literally. I think that's when Fortnite was like at its peak. Like when it first came out, and then people started discovering like clips on like how did you learn of Fortnite? Like, how did you find
I
out what Fortnite
I,
was?
I was kind of lucky. I was in the loop before it became like a mainstream thing. I used to play on PlayStation. I think I was playing Rainbow Six Siege with a friend of mine, and he was getting off. I'm like, "Why are you getting off?" He's like, "I'm going to play this game." It's in the. He used to always play these free games in the App Store, like in the Play Store or whatever for PlayStation. So he would download these games and play them, and I was like, "Where do you go? Why are you leaving?" He's like, "I'm going to play this game Fortnite." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, it's free. You want to try?" I'm like, "Okay." I downloaded it, tried it. It's a battle royale. Like I got onto it. I'm like, "Okay, this is interesting." So I started playing it for like the first. It wasn't even a season. The beginning of the game didn't have a season. It was just Fortnite. It was just a beta mode. So like I played for a little bit. I was like, this game, like there was too many things wrong with it. So I was like, it's all right. But I went back to Rainbow. Then the second season came out. That's when I really got into it. I started seeing more of it and started to understand more of what battle royale was, and that's when I started playing it. That's pretty early on.
You were grinding Rainbow before that.
Yeah, I wasn't really like a grind. Like I wasn't specifically grinding Rainbow. I played various games. Like I played Rainbow maybe for like a couple weeks at a time. Then I'll go play Call of Duty for a couple weeks, and then I go Battlefield. I was kind of ranging.
So what turned you off from Fortnite originally? What you said it was like broken? You said there was like buggy. Like what was the big problem with Fortnite that turned you off of
But
it
early
when you
on,
first played it?
there were so many. There was everything about like I mean the game itself was decent, but there were so many like fall damage in the game. You would let's say you fell from the same exact place that I fell. I would die.
Mhm.
You wouldn't. Like the fall damage was inconsistent.
Oh, okay.
It was just a buggy game early on because it was in beta. I mean, it was in beta for a long time, but yeah, there was just so many random things. The guns itself, some were super OP, or I mean, as the second season, there were still bad things about the game, but just somehow maybe I gave it more time and I actually did like it. Maybe the first season would have been equally as good if I gave it more time. It's just I was there wasn't as many people playing the game, so it was a lot of solos, and I just didn't understand it at the time.
What made you like get addicted to it? What grabbed you into Fortnite? What do you think was the reason why you were like, okay, this is gonna be my new game now that I'm gonna play for a while?
It was definitely the building. The like
Building,
you know
right?
that build stuff. Like it was just like
You've never
Crazy.
seen that like
Yeah.
ever before. Like it's so crazy because Fortnite itself introduced something that literally no other game has introduced into like a battle royale scene. Fortnite was like a game changer in that aspect. That's actually what turned me on to Fortnite. I remember the first time I ever saw Fortnite. You know what's so funny? Like, so when I was younger, I would grind Call of Duty PS3. I would literally grind, like not even grind as in like grind to get better, but just literally play it like nonstop when I was younger. I'll play Call of Duty. I'll play all the Call of Duties. And then
Nice.
once Advanced Warfare, after like Advanced Warfare came out, that's when I stopped playing it. I literally put away my PS3, put away my gaming setup, focused on going to the gym, focused on having the social life. You know, I literally quit on becoming a gamer.
Right.
I literally quit. I literally quit. Like I was like, I'm not being a gamer. Like it's over. Call of Duty's not the same anymore. I don't want to play anything. And then I literally have like just like a crappy like a really small like PC like in my room and a desk like and literally with the mouse that's like came with the PC, a keyboard that came with the PC. I literally have that, but because I was so into the gaming scene, I had like a Twitter that was like hooked into the gaming scene. So I had a Twitter that was like still following like gamers, like FaZe Clan, like gaming stuff, you know.
Right.
And so, because I still had a Twitter hooked into the gaming scene, I still had my YouTube hooked into the gaming scene. I remember one day I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw a clip, and it was of Fortnite. It was of somebody like, oh, how to trap noobs in Fortnite, and he put like the electrical traps in Fortnite. He like dropped down from a hill and started placing the traps and trapping one person in like a box.
Oh, I think that was Cypher.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Maybe, I don't
he was
know.
known for that clip.
And it was like electric. It was like the electric trap. And by the time that I played Fortnite, the electric trap didn't even exist anymore.
Oh yeah,
So
that.
like I saw somebody do that, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. You can build like you can make walls and like trap people inside of them. Like I was like, that's when I first saw it. But that didn't make me download the game. I was like, that's I at first I saw that and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. Like I've something it's something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
It's something that was so new and like you're like, whoa, you can build like that's crazy. Like what is that about? So I saw that and that like got my interest. That was like the first thing I ever saw Fortnite. And then I think after that, I tried to get back into Call of Duty. Like I think maybe like a year, no, not a year, maybe a couple months after I saw that clip. And then I saw people were playing Fortnite, and I didn't know that that was the name of the game. I just saw that clip, and I didn't know what game it, what name it, what the game was. I didn't know what it was about. I just like saw that I was like interested, and then I kept scrolling. I was like, you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So I kept scrolling, and then eventually I actually reconnected. I think with like some, I don't know if it reconnected with my gamer friends or if I saw one of my gamer friends that I used to play with playing that game, and he was like streaming it on YouTube. And then I was like, all right, let me try this game. And I tried it by myself. I didn't try it with my friends or anything. So I downloaded it. I started playing it. And I think by the time I started playing it, I think it was beginning of season 1 or it was the beginning of season 2 because I remember the skeleton skin had already passed
Yeah, I think.
and all the stuff like it was like I think it was season 2. It was the beginning of
Yeah.
season 2.
If those electric traps were out, it's probably season 2.
Exactly. No, they were gone. They were long gone.
Yeah, I think that was a season 1. Or it wasn't even season 1. Yeah, it was a
It
season
was
1
like
thing.
preseason. It was like preseason. I think it was like preseason when the skeleton skin came out too. And then I think that's when I started playing at the beginning of season 2, and I actually really liked it because of the building. Like I was like, what is this? This is awesome. I think I was even playing like solos, and I was like perfectly fine. I was like having fun, and I keep seeing more clips of it. And then I was like, I'm not gonna spend any money on this game. And then I bought my first ever skin. It was the disco guy skin.
I don't even remember the first skin I bought.
That was my first ever skin, the disco guy skin. Did you buy like the battle pass? Didn't you buy like the battle pass for the first season?
Season 2, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you so you ended up playing season 1 on console?
I played season 1, 2, 3, and most of 4 on console, and then I switched PC.
Wait, so then when we first met, you were playing on console? Because I think we met like season 2.
No, we met. It was like season 5 or 6 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
So what made you switch over to PC? Why'd you switch from after all that time on console, after all those years on console? What made you want to switch to PC?
Well, controller players, I think even nowadays, like console players cannot keep up with PC players. There's the frames of the game. Back then I didn't understand what FPS and all that meant, but I just knew watching PC players like Ninja back when he was playing it, they were moving a lot. Like they were doing things so much faster when I could do on console. And so when I was playing console, like I realized I can't do these things, and there wasn't like nowadays there's you can change your binds on controller, but back then you couldn't. So like you were just stuck with the basic binds, and you couldn't change anything. It was just you could reach your peak, but going above that would be you'd have to really grind it. So I switched just so I can. Well, I want, and also I went to school for computer programming, so I needed the PC anyway. So it was like it was just two birds, one stone type of thing. So I bought the PC, and yeah, I just did it just so I can get better frames and better, and just I don't know, try to play better.
So at that point, you were like invested. You were like, all right, I want to get better at this game. I need a PC anyway. Might as well spend a little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was exactly like I got a PC for the gaming or if I got a PC for school, and then it just happened that I downloaded Fortnite on it, or I just know the PC players back then were definitely even now when it comes to console, they're still up there.
You think there was a huge disadvantage between PC players and console players back then?
Yeah, for sure. Even now, just
I thought, what's his name? I thought like Nick Merckx and stuff. They were popping off though during that time, and they
yeah,
were
but
console players.
I think for a while he played console, then he switched. You can still play controller on PC. It's like you just get better frames and things like that. Because on console they force you to play at like a super high settings, and so it makes you laggy. You're capped at 60 frames, which means you're missing a lot of frames. It's not just because you're capped at 60 doesn't mean you're going to stay at 60 consistently. They put the settings so high in the game that you're like playing the game and dropping down to 30 frames, and it's just difficult as a console player.
Yeah, I remember that on my first ever PC when I'd play Fortnite. I think on that PC I was actually getting less frames than what a console would get. I think I was like playing 30 FPS because it wasn't actually a gaming PC. It was like a regular PC, you know?
Yeah.
So I was literally getting less frames than a console player if I played console, but I was playing on PC. So I was literally getting less frames playing on PC. People be like, oh, you're a PC player. But you know, it's funny. Even though I was playing on less frames, I would still be able to like build fast and use the. Oh, that's what the problem was though. On console, you really couldn't build fast. Wasn't that like the thing?
Yeah, like I said, you couldn't change binds on console, so you're stuck with exactly what you have. So like when you press edit, you have to let go of the analog to press circle. When you want to build, you got to like press, I think it was like triangle, and then you got to press L2 and then R. Like it was like a weird combination. You couldn't just press one button and do anything.
Yeah, that was the huge thing. It was like console players like can build super slow, but they have good aim, and PC players can build super fast, but they have to like work on their aim. They have to like practice on their aim because it wasn't like they didn't give. Did they give aim assist until later seasons, or did they give it early on for?
I think they had it, but like early aim wasn't as big of a factor early on because it was I think the guns in the game were inconsistent. I think when you would shoot, it would do different damages. Like when you shoot someone, like you remember that was back when the shotgun meta. There's a double shotgun where you could shoot someone from 50 feet. Yeah, so it was like you either have a scar or a shotgun. If you got anything else, it wasn't very that great. The scar used to do like 55 damage or something like that. Crazy.
It's crazy how much attention like Fortnite was getting at the time. Like I feel like Fortnite at that time had the most like attention, most viewers, most followers, most
yeah, for sure.
people interested in the game. Like, and then what do you think was like the peak of Fortnite? What do you think made Fortnite like basically like a goat, like a greatest of all time in gaming?
I don't know. I think the peak, like the most amount of players. It's hard to say. I think most people would want to say like the fifth or sixth season or something like that, but no, I think
is that with like Tilted Towers? Tilted Towers was definitely one of them.
I think that was a peak of like the players that were playing the game having fun. That might have been peak for like those type of players, but the peak of the game itself, when it comes down to like the amount of players playing the game, was definitely later. It was probably when the chapter ended, or like right before it, like season 9 or 10. That was probably the peak. Maybe even like season 1 or 2 of the new chapter might have been the peak. it didn't seem like that because so many players were starting to dislike the game because they've been playing it for so long. But the amount of players
Yeah.
playing the game itself, and especially when they do those in-game events, every time they did another in-game event, it was just like more and more players would play or view or spectate it.
What was the first end game event? Do you remember that one?
The very first, that was when I'm pretty sure it was when the astronauts were introduced and they smashed Dusty Divot or whatever, Dusty Depot.
Oh yeah. They broke it. Yeah, they destroyed it.
Yeah, that was like a really cool thing. I remember getting on like, what the?
Isn't that crazy how innovative Fortnite was? Like first they came out with the building mechanics. Like that was like never seen it before. That was something that was very cool and grabbed everybody's eye. And then they came out with in-game events.
Yeah,
Like no one has ever like what has anyone like besides single player mode, like no, like in-game events at a time where you could go online multiplayer and everybody has this happening at the same time where something happens in the game that changes the game, literally changes the landscape, changes the world itself of the game, and then you can keep playing on it. Like they
yeah,
literally,
they definitely paved the way for things like that.
holy moly, like they just did so much. And also in-game concerts, like come on. The first, what was it, Marshmallow?
Think so.
The first in-game live concert where literally people can go and just play the game and watch a performer like Marshmallow, like a DJ, like someone that you go to see live, like in it, the video game, you can see him live. Like, isn't that's just insane?
Well, I think it also has to do with like they're one of the first games, the first not first, but the battle royale. Like if there was Call of Duty before that and things like that, but they couldn't do an in-game event because all you had to do was add a new map. So it wasn't like you're on one map all the time; you're on different maps. So it was kind of hard to add a in-game event to something like that. And then H1Z1, they were big, but they weren't that big. They probably didn't have enough funds to do something like that, or they never even thought about it. So when Fortnite came out, it's huge, making all this noise, getting all this money. Everyone's buying the Battle Pass in-game skins. They're getting so much money from the game. They're like,
Yeah.
man, we got to do something. Like, and
We got to keep it going.
Yeah, it's like it's a cartoon game too. So like creating the animations for like a scene to happen is probably a little bit easier than it would be for something as realistic as like H1Z1 or something. So yeah, they were just they had all the right stuff to do it, and they actually made the idea to do it, and yeah, it definitely
Do you
benefited
think
them.
timing was also a valuable aspect? Because I think the later we go into the future, the more gamers that there are. Back then, being a gamer was like, oh, you're a nerd. Like, what, you play Call of Duty all day? You like sit at home. Like now, it's like, oh, it could be a career.
Yeah,
You think?
I think there was still a lot of gamers back then. Even I don't think they were as connected, or they were people were playing so many different games back then. It was like you
Mhm.
knew a friend that was playing this game while you're playing this game. Like Call of Duty was the only game that seemed like it was a link between everyone. Like everyone at least tried Call of Duty. But yeah, when Fortnite came out, it for sure created a new audience for gaming. Like people that never really thought about gaming because it was like, no, I don't want to kill people in Call of Duty type of thing. It's too realistic in war and da da da. Well, that Fortnite made it more cartoonish, so it's like it kind of was like a kid thing, but adults had fun on it too. And it just even people that don't play games could hop on it and do like challenges, or
Yeah, like Save the
there were so many
World.
different aspects to it.
There was also like the big audience that did Save the World. They didn't like the Battle
Oh
Royale
yeah,
scene.
yeah. I
They
forgot about
liked
that.
Save the World scene. I actually had a friend that was playing Save the World before Fortnite even blew up. Like he would play it consistently, and he would love Save the World. And then when Battle Royale came out, he had like all the original OG stuff because he played Save the World just before Fortnite even became a thing. You know, before Battle Royale became a thing, not before Fortnite came.
I
Fortnite was
thought
already a
about
thing.
Save the World. Yes, there was definitely a huge community. There might even still be a community on that. I feel like I never really see it, but there's definitely players
I've
that play it.
I've never played Save the World.
I
Have
tried
you
it like
played
one
it?
time.
What did you like about it, and what did you not like about it?
Like I said, I only played it one time. It was
Kind
I
of
don't
just
know.
learning.
Maybe if I wasn't so addicted to Fortnite, I might have liked it a little more. But like knowing what Fortnite
Yeah.
is, like I've
Isn't
never
it
been,
crazy?
I've never
Yeah.
been like a type of player to play a single player. Like here and there I might, but I've always been an FPS like play against other players type of guy. Like I like putting my skill up against other players. It's like even when Call of
Yeah.
Duty when they had campaign, a lot of times I never played campaign until like my internet went out. Like that's when I
Never
play.
played single player.
Yeah,
Never
learning there how
played
to go
single
out.
player. I would like only play multiplayer on Call of Duty. I literally people would always tell me, "Oh, did you do the story mode?" I was like, "No, I play multiplayer only. I don't play single player. I don't do the story mode." I think I went into the range. I think one time, and it's because I was 1v1ing my friend, like not because we were playing like the duo.
Yeah,
There was like a duo. There was like a duo single player mode where you guys would do the split screen,
I don't think that was.
and
That wasn't part of the. That was part of the. You would click on multiplayer, but then it was called custom games, and that's when you would do it.
no, but I think there was like a range thing. I don't know which Call of Duty this was, but there was like a range with like people that would like stand up, and if you shoot them, they fly down. And it was in one of the Call of Duties, and I was playing with my neighbor. We were playing split screen, and so we go in there and we like go through the range. I don't know which Call of Duty it was. It might have been. I don't know actually. I don't remember. But I remember playing like a split screen on the console on PS3. We were in a range and we were just shooting down like people that were standing up. Like actually like
I know what you're talking about. Like you're running through, doing like a simulation where you're just like.
yes, fake
Shoot.
people,
I don't remember.
burglars, you know, and then you shoot them, then they flop down, and then you don't want to shoot the civilians, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know which one it was. I don't even know. It definitely was Call of Duty.
I remember
That
that, but
was
I don't
it.
remember. I never really played that much. I remember it though.
Yeah. Can we talk about how crazy Fortnite had an effect on streaming? Like people would, I mean, not even Fortnite itself, but like Ninja. Because of Ninja, everybody wanted to be a streamer. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I think the game itself was blowing up, and Ninja being one of the bigger streamers at the time, he just like rode the wave, and he was very good at it early on. And
I
yeah,
think Ninja opened up the whole community of streaming to everybody. Like before Ninja, I wasn't a streamer. Like I would like to upload YouTube videos. I didn't even like live streaming. I didn't even want to like stream, but because
I
of
didn't have
him,
Twitch on my phone, and like
exactly, I didn't like. There's nothing streaming ever in my life. Like I remember back in the Call of Duty days, people would stream, and I'd be like, "That's stupid. Why would you want to stream? Like just upload a YouTube video,
actually
record the gameplay."
I
Like,
actually used to watch the Call of Duty tournaments. They used to like
really?
stream them live on
Well, not
Facebook
the
and stuff.
tournaments. Yeah.
It was
Well,
like
not the tournaments, but I mean, like they would just stream their own gameplay to like
oh,
YouTube. They would like stream it and then upload it to YouTube. No, actually, I think they streamed on Twitch. I think they streamed on Twitch.
I don't know.
Like,
I know like the very first time I started watching like live gameplay was the Call of Duty tournaments, and I wasn't like super interested. I just like saw them here and there, and I clicked on them and watched them for a bit. I'm like, okay, yeah, Fortnite definitely was the. I don't
holy
know,
moly, dude.
like League of Legends and things like that might have been huge on streaming. I'm not even sure.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. League of Legends and stuff like that was like the backbone of streaming before Fortnite, because people would stream like Tyler One.
Yeah,
Like he was big way before Ninja. Like he was like blowing up, and he was streaming. He was only streaming. And then there would also be like the live IRL streams came after Fortnite. You saw, like Ice Poseidon, people like that.
yeah.
Yeah, like that came after Fortnite. But I think that honestly, Ninja and maybe some other people, I might not be including other people, but I think Ninja created such a big opening for people to want to become a streamer. Like there has not been so many people, like even to this day, people are like, "Oh, I want to stream," like because they know about Ninja, they know about Fortnite, they know about how much money he got from literally playing a video game, and they were like, "I play a video game, why can't I get paid for it?" So I think that Ninja himself created such a big opening for live streaming. Like me, I loved content. I loved like uploading videos or putting out any content, literally any content whatsoever. I never live streamed my whole life. I always edit a video of Call of Duty or something and then I upload it to YouTube. And then when I saw that Ninja was live streaming and I saw that the impact that he had by just live streaming, I was like, let me try it. It's still uploading content. I want to, do it in some way,
Right.
but it's like what's live streaming? Ninja made live streaming like so he made it look so fun for people that never experienced live streaming before.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely was he was definitely like the biggest at the time, and he was like creating huge splashes when it comes to like gaming. Put like maybe in other countries gaming was a bigger thing, but like the United States, a lot of people didn't really expect gaming or didn't see it as like an actual pursuit for a career until Fortnite came out and you started seeing him on TV shows and a bunch of random stuff.
What
Like I
made
said,
you What made you want to start streaming? Like you didn't put out content before streaming. You didn't really like.
well, I've always been into like that kind of thing, but
Mhm.
I think once I got the PC, I started getting good at the game. I didn't stream it at the time, but I was playing with friends and I was like getting to the point where I was like, all right, I'm starting to get like 20 kills a game. And my friends were like getting like 2 or 3, and I don't know. So I'm like, let me start. I started comparing. I'm like, let me go on these.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
I
I'm a little
started
better
opening
than
up
them.
streams. I'm like, man, this guy is, he's
Not that good.
yeah, not that good. I'm like, I'm better. I could probably pull some views. Well, back then,
See,
I used to think that skill was like all that mattered. Like, I knew I wasn't like a huge talker or like a very good entertainer.
but
I used,
skill was all that mattered back then. Back
so
then, to a point,
yeah,
like
to
they
an
don't
extent.
care about anything. They just
Skill
care
is
about you
definitely
being
more
good.
skill definitely helped more back then than it would now. Like being good at the game now wouldn't help you as much, but back then,
Yeah. Back then, they don't care if they were watching no face cam, no audio, but if they and we're back, guys. Sorry we had some technical difficulties, but we're back. Everything's all good. So let's continue our conversation topic. Uh, I want to ask you personally. Fortnite now obviously is not anywhere compared to where it was at its peak. What did you think was the beginning stuff that started make like the beginning situations that people started getting very upset with Fortnite? I know that people were starting to like hate different aspects of the game and started to stop playing it because Fortnite was not fixing situations.
uh, I think I think it was a slow climb. I think when people start playing the game so much, they start to see it their way. So it's like, I want the game to go this way, that way. And when they start adding new things to the game constantly, early on, they were always adding something new. It was like every single time you log on, there's a new item in the game. And it got to the point where they just want the basics in the game. So they start adding more and more random things. And it made people discouraged or like, I kept dying because of this, or kept dying because of that. And just the amount of time players put in the game, eventually you start getting you start getting tired of playing the game like so much you get
Do you think it's
burnt
like a
out of it.
combination? Do you think it's like a combination of both? Like players started getting tired of the game and they started taking it out their frustration on small things, or the game started adding unnecessary things that players did not
Yeah,
want and that got them upset.
it was a combination of both. It was like that was the start. It was just like there were so many things in the game. It was like, okay, whatever. Like, and then as the time went on, it was like, oh, there's this glitch in the game, and it keeps getting me killed. I'm so tired of it. Why don't they fix that? And then back then they would release patch notes, and people used to complain all the time, like, why don't you fix this? Why don't you fix that? You keep adding these and not adding that, and yeah. Then the comp scene started coming, and so like those glitches became more of a problem. And there was things in the game that people would start to like stretch red started to come out, which made players be able to see a wider field of view. And they got rid of that, which made players very upset. I think a lot of the frustrations came with the players that played the game the most, like the competitive players, because that's where a lot of the problems were. They were catering to the that's non-competitive players. They were catering to the people that come home from work and just play for like an hour and then get off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Casual players. I feel like a lot of the problems kind of came after like season 5, season 6, and I think that does give people a good amount of time to like play the game and then start getting bored of it. I think what do you think is like the normal time span? Like you know how everybody definitely experiences getting addicted into a game. Like what do you think is the normal time span of when a person like the addiction starts becoming boring and people start like, okay, I need something new, I need something different. Like I need to switch to a new game, or this game needs to start coming out with a second version of it or a new version of it. Like what do you think is the time span that players in general, gamers, start getting bored with their addiction of whatever the game they're playing is?
Uh, I don't really know. I think it's game dependent or just dependent on the person. Some people like played Fortnite and only played for 2 seasons and were like, yeah, it's not for me. It's just not it. Or I also think when it comes to like playing with friends and everyone, when like, one friend starts, like let's say you got a group of 4 players, 4 friends, and you play every single day, and then eventually that one person leaves. It's a new mechanic when there's only 3 people playing. It's like not as fun, and then you got the next guy that leaves. Then you might have another guy that comes fills that gap, and over time you're down to just yourself, and you're constantly playing the game yourself, trying to take it as serious as possible. And then you start dying. When you start dying the random things in the game, it causes frustration, and you think like, I'm grinding all this time just to die to random things, and you start getting more frustrated as time goes on. And I think like, and also the game itself not adding enough new things. Although Fortnite did do a good job, they did a good job of adding like new stuff all the time.
I think they
Uh,
did add new stuff all the time, and they did try to keep it going. But then the new stuff that they would add was kind of like glitchy, buggy. People would abuse it. Like there'd
yeah,
be so many different aspects of the game where they tried to add new things, but it ended up like kind of failing on them because players would get upset that the either the item wasn't working or it was overpowered or it was glitchy, and then the people that took it seriously, that did the comp scene, they would get even more upset because it would be in the comp mode too. So then there's like no differentiation between the comp mode and the casual scene. And I think it was the zombies too. Remember when the zombies came out and they put them in comp?
yeah. I remember there was a lot of like, after about a season maybe 6 or 7, they started just
That's what I'm saying.
completely. That was when like the comp scene was really getting up there. People were really starting to take the game serious as a competitive game. But the Fortnite game itself, they weren't prepared, I guess, for it. So they would add like, I don't remember the first. Maybe zombies was the first thing. I'm not sure exactly what the first thing, but they added that. No, the sword I think was the first thing. They had a
Oh
one
my
item in the game
god,
that
the
could
sword.
yeah, it would destroy everybody. I was like, you got that sword and you were just winning the game because it was just so OP. And then the planes in the game, so there was like 6 planes or something. So like whoever had the planes were just going to last the end game just because no one was shooting at them.
The grappler balls.
Yeah, the ballers, the what they call them, the mechs that were in the game. There were so many
Oh
items in
my
the game
god.
that just were, it was. I mean, it
The
was
grab
like now looking back on it, I think it was like fun, sort of, but it was also kind of irritating in the moment because you're trying to like take the game serious and make it high in the leaderboards or the like just do good in the tournaments. And you got these items in the game that you're just
are
dying to
helping
randomly.
below average players to make it far into the
Yeah,
game. Yeah, and I definitely agree because I feel like that stuff definitely made the comp scene very upset because you have below average players that can abuse this item and get into like top 10 scenario where they would just have to be able to hide and just be able to hold it out compared to players that are grinding the game nonstop, learning how to build and learning how and practicing their aim and trying to make it to top 10 by pure skill compared to the items that the Fortnite was giving the community that let low or even below average players make it there without even trying.
all right.
What do you think? How do you think Fortnite could have done differently? I feel like after that started happening, they definitely lost a huge audience. They lost a lot of players. Everybody was getting upset with the game. Everybody was starting to get tired of the game. What do you think Fortnite could have done differently to keep their peak going? Or do you think it's just natural and that just happens?
I think it's a combination of both. Like there could have been things like everyone's gonna have a different opinion. So when they added something in the game like a mech, there's a decent amount of people that liked that being in the game because they felt like they had a chance and like they could win more games because of the mechs being in the game. There's also those other people that were really good at the game that hated it because they would die to players that weren't putting as much time in. So that being one of the things that can help. That's one of those things that come down to the opinion of the player when they add stuff like that in the game.
Definitely. I feel like also when you can't really play a game solo and you have to play with friends, that's when the game is definitely boring. I think the whole friend aspect has a huge part into it. You have to really be in love with the game to play it single player. You have to really enjoy
Yeah,
a game to play single player. Like there's so many things like if you're playing with friends and your friend dies and then you die, you guys can laugh about it together. But if you're playing by yourself
yeah, for
and
sure. Yeah,
you get killed by something so ridiculous, like you'll get angry. You don't want to laugh. You'll be like, why am I
yeah.
playing this game? Why am I wasting my time? So I think a huge aspect of it also was like the groups of friends, like how you talked before. Obviously, some friends started getting upset with the changes. Some friends liked the changes and they were staying. So you have some friends that are leaving the friend group because they don't want to play the game anymore because they're upset because of multiple things that the game has put out. And then you have some friends that are like, well, I kind of like it. I don't care. I still like this game. They want to stay and they want to play. So it's like the friend groups are separating. Once the friend group separates, then the players that are staying on the game, they start getting more aggravated. They start getting upset. They're like, why am I even playing this game? What's the point? It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. They're dying to dumb stuff. And then they're like, all right, I'm done with this game. I can't enjoy it. It's not fun anymore. I need to find the next thing. I'm no longer interested in Fortnite.
Yeah, I agree. I think the friends definitely are like when I first started playing. That's what I did. I played with friends all like I remember I would play with friends. I would get on in the morning. Sometimes I'd get on before my friends and I'd play solos and I just started getting bored like pretty fast. Even though I was doing decent in solos, just like I wasn't streaming at the time. I was just playing casually. But I was like, man, they need to hurry up and get on. I'll text people like, dude, get on now, get on that. Like I don't want to play. Like I don't want to play unless it's playing with people because it was like one of those games where it's so much fun with friends. Like because they do the game itself, you could do so many different things in it, and so watching your friend like fall from fall damage or getting killed or landing tilted 24/7 and trying to like beat out your friends in kills or something was just
even doing better than your friends, like hitting a 20 kill game when your friend would get like 10 kills.
Yeah,
you just like feel good and you feel powerful. But if you get a 20 kill game by yourself, you're like, all right, that's awesome, but no one's here to like experience this with me, you know?
I remember back then too, like if you were in, let's say you're in tilt, like I always landed tilted. Me and my friends, that was like the only place we landed, and so if if three people died, watching that one person like, or if you're that one person alive and you're actually clutching up the game, it was like one of the best feelings. Like all your friends are hyping you up, like, bro, how'd you do that? You just wiped out a whole 5-man or 4-man or something, and that part of the game used to be like really fun for me. I wasn't a streamer, so like just having 3 spectators watching you clutch up was like fun.
I think that's also ties into streaming aspect because just having people watch you play a game and like you have like an audience, you have like people like supporting you, people like saying, oh, that was crazy, like you hit a crazy clip. I think that also ties into streaming aspect because you can do solo and you can still get that same reaction without being with friends.
Yeah,
but you're just streaming it to different people that aren't playing with you at the time.
I remember thinking like I would do stuff back then where I'd be like, man, I wish someone could see what I just did because that was crazy. And it's like, unless you were playing with people, they were the only ones that saw it. And so I remember thinking like, man, if I could just have like some people see this and just think it was cool, that'd be like awesome.
Yeah, just to have that satisfaction, just to have that acknowledgement,
right,
would mean so much. And I think like obviously Fortnite was a great game. It definitely did a great, like when it was at the top, non-stop satisfaction and did the best. But obviously as the game gets older, as the players that got used to Fortnite, they got bored of it, they're just gonna find more stuff to complain about. So I feel like the peak of every game is always gonna have a downfall. Like GTA, Minecraft, like all those games, they're obviously like great games. They're goats. They're like games that people still go back to and play nowadays.
right.
But they're always gonna have their peak, and then they're always gonna have their downfall, or whatever space that they're in, where they're just like recognized as a great game that you could always go back to and enjoy from time to time, but no longer, grinding every day, nonstop, enjoying forever. It's like it's recognized as one of the greatest. Honestly, I think Fortnite is definitely up there with other games, recognized as a great game that people will eventually always go back to and play from time to time. But that whole saga, the whole Fortnite saga, is definitely over.
I think it's gonna be one of those games where the competitive players are really gonna be the ones that are playing it, and also like the casual players that got good at building, like just enjoy it for that part of it. Like they hop on and they can like, it's just a satisfying feeling knowing that you like are good at something in a game.
Yeah, from time to time, it's always fun to just go back on older games and just enjoy.
Yeah.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. I think the same thing goes for like League of Legends and stuff like that. Like those games, always gonna be. You're always gonna have those memories. You're always gonna have the memories of the good times that you had on that game, and they're always gonna drive you back to go and play it just to see if you can experience something similar to what was there at a time, you know?
Every time I go back to Fortnite, it's like it feels refreshing. I go back to it. I'm like, man, I remember like this is pretty fun getting a bunch of kills or doing this thing or being good at a game or that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
After playing it for a while though, I always get frustrated. Like after like a couple hours, I'm like, okay, this is why I stopped playing. But
Yeah.
yeah, going back to it is definitely always fun. Like after like playing a new game and then going back to Fortnite and trying it for a while, it makes you want to start grinding it again.
Yeah.
Until you start grinding again, you're like, man, never mind. See what I
Not fun
thought.
anymore.
Yeah, I think what really helped when Fortnite was blown up is how the game like you watch like Call of Duty or something. The clips are always just like 360 snipes or something like that. Like when Fortnite was always something different. It was always like a random. You could do like an edit play or
Or the rocket rides.
yeah, that was huge. Or like you said, the traps, putting someone in the trap. Like there was so many different types of clips that helped it when it was blowing up.
Definitely, I agree. I think Fortnite was like just a whole different game. Like you know, it's gonna happen again. There's gonna be another game that comes out, and it's gonna be like just like Fortnite. It's gonna have like such crazy different things that are gonna attract a huge audience. The game's gonna blow up. They're gonna start adding stuff in, make it keep it going, and then after that, people are gonna start getting bored of it, and then the cycle begins again. It was literally Call of Duty. It was Call of Duty for me, and then it was Fortnite, and now it's like whatever is next, you know?
I think right now I think it's like a dry spot. You're kind of just playing games for fun. Like
games
you're
that are kind of popular.
Yeah, there's some games that pop up here and there, and they're pretty fun to play for a while, but nothing that sticks as well as Fortnite did.
Nothing that's addicting.
Yeah.
Like the sagas, like the COD saga. That was like you would play it nonstop, not because you wanted to get good, not because you wanted to play competitive, just because you enjoyed the game. You enjoyed all the aspects of the game. So like I would literally play Call of Duty every single day after school, not because I wanted to get better, not because I cared, but because I just enjoyed playing the game and I enjoyed like every aspect the game brought. To be honest,
Right.
And the same thing with Fortnite. Like I played Call of Duty. I lost my passion for gaming for a couple years. Started getting a social life. I started, going to the gym every day and working on bettering my health. And then after that, I found my passion again, and what was Fortnite. And now Fortnite's kind of at the same saga where Call of Duty was, where it blew up. It was the best thing in the world, and then everybody kind of dies down. Not that it goes down to zero, and it doesn't die. Fortnite's not dead. Like no game can really die. To be honest, I don't understand that whole thing when people are like, "Oh, this game's gonna be dead." Like it's not gonna be dead. It's gonna reach a point where it's no longer at the greatness that it was, but it's at a category where it still is one of the best games, and people will still hop on it from time to time. Like it's not gonna die out.
I feel like it's the same as like when you watch a movie or something. When you, like, let's say a good movie comes out in 2010, like I don't even know, like the first Iron Man or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when there's a peak to it, everyone's watching it during the time that it comes out. But now it's not the biggest game. People like it's not dead right now just because you don't watch it anymore.
Yes,
you can still go back and watch it and remember like it was a good movie. Yeah, that was a good.
And it's still recognized as a great movie. Like
maybe not everyone's like you don't go down the street and everyone's watching it right now. Like no, it's you watch it. Like, you can go back to it here and there and still find the same things that you found the first time. It's just not as exciting as the first time.
It's like the Avengers. Like when the Endgame came out, everybody was going crazy. Everyone was like, "Oh, Endgame!"
There's always hype around new stuff to begin with.
Exactly, and then it's not like the thing dies. It just reaches a point where it's no longer as hyped anymore because it's not new news. It's not something that's crazy anymore. It's something that has been out for a while and people got used to it.
Yeah, and it just has its own niche, like its own group of people that play it all the time, and they still enjoy it. And okay, like that's their thing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I don't think I think it could be easily recognized as one of the great games of all time, and it'll always have that spot.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely one of those games where like I'm 16 years old. I'm like, let me throw on Fortnite. Let me show these youngsters what I used to. Yeah.
Our kids be like,
I wonder what it'd be like then. Like think all the updates, and after like maybe like let's say 20 years, I wonder what Fortnite would look like. Like how different would the game be in comparison to now?
Yeah, I mean, like you can think about like Minecraft and GTA. Like they were pretty old games. I don't even know when Minecraft came out, but it came out a long time ago.
Yeah,
and like
GTA's
now,
been out for forever. Yeah,
I know. I mean, like, look at them now. It's like kind of like the same thing, just like renovated. I don't know. I feel like
GTA now has like that role play aspect to it, which is
oh my god,
huge.
that role play aspect definitely rebirthed
Yeah, for yeah, that, like
GTA. It brought a whole new saga to GTA. Not as big as the Fortnite saga, obviously, but a pretty big saga now. People are replaying that game just for roleplay. You know,
yeah, it's like a new game on the same map,
on the
kind
same.
of like
Yep.
like the same engine or whatever. Like it's just a new way of playing. I should say
It's basically like yeah, it's like how you said a new game on the same system. Like it's like if Fortnite were rebirthed, like you'd play Fortnite on Fortnite, but you play a different aspect of it.
yeah, it's like going to the Fortnite world and actually walking around as a character and talking to other players. Like
Exactly.
it's weird. It's yeah, GTA is the role play fun. It's pretty fun to watch. I watch it like pretty often.
You think roleplay will start coming to other games because it's like such a big thing now?
I think. I don't think it's a simple game. I mean, I don't think it's a simple thing that you can just add to games. Like with GTA, it was perfect because that's literally what you did. You walked around, steal cars, and
Yeah,
all you
that's
had
true.
to do was add a proximity chat, and you got yourself roleplay. I don't know if other games could be like that because it would depend on the game.
It's
Maybe
true.
something like Minecraft, sort of. There's already people that try to do that with
There is
Minecraft.
Minecraft roleplay. It's like the SMP servers.
Yeah.
It's like they basically try, and I think they do succeed. I'm not really sure,
Oh,
but
oh yeah, they do really well. They do really like really well.
yeah, I think that they do kind of similar things to GTA roleplay, and they definitely I mean, it's gonna get out there. It's gonna be like as time goes on, more things become a possibility. Things that you never thought of can
Yeah,
become come out of nowhere, and they become actual realistic because they become actual people are actually doing it.
I think like the next, maybe not next, but like one of the bigger things that are gonna come is like out of the virtual reality space. Like, I
Oh
feel
my
like
god,
that
definitely.
hasn't had a leap yet, right? Like right now, it's like still in the early stages where like there's people that play it, but it's not
It's not
huge.
there yet.
Yeah,
It's
there's
not
not.
there.
Yeah, it's not completely, but I feel like that's the next like where everyone's gonna be like, okay, this
You
is
think the
insane.
saga? You think that's the next saga?
Yeah, I think it's definitely leading that way. There's going to be
I kind of agree with you.
yeah, there's
Like
going to be I think it's going to start out with like maybe like role play because it's so much easier to do role play
something.
in in a virtual world because all you're doing is talking. You don't have to like it's not like fighting and all that.
Yeah.
So I think that's
No.
where I think that it already has some role play aspects to it.
Oh, it definitely like it has. It's like I feel like that's Fortnite like saved the world. Like before Battle Royale came out,
Yeah,
I feel I think you might have a point. Like that was gonna bring me to my next question. I'd be like, what game do you think is gonna be the next saga? And now I kind of want to predict this. I kind of want to predict that VR is gonna be the next saga. Everyone's gonna start buying the VR headsets. Everyone's gonna start setting up their VR equipment in their house so they can run in a game with a gun or something. You know, and I think VR is gonna be the next addiction to reach the all-time peak. And you know what's gonna be crazy? You know how Fortnite brought in like in-game concerts,
yeah, it's going to
building
be on
mechanics.
another level.
VR is gonna bring in like most like reality. Like if you could get shocked in the game,
Yeah,
you can get hit by a bullet or something. You know,
yeah, it's definitely a longer like it might not be the very next thing, but it's going
it's
to be a
there.
thing. It's going to be
It's
a thing.
there.
It's
Yeah.
obvious. Like if you ask anyone on the street, like what do you think's the next? Like, it's one of the most obvious ones that people assume that's going to be the next wave of.
There might be something before it, but
Yeah,
it's coming. The VR saga is coming.
I
I
just hope
definitely
I hope it comes in my lifetime. I hope it's like a
imagine we're like 60 years old.
yeah. I hope
What
it's like
is this VR saga thing?
I hope it's like Sword Art Online or something where you can just go into this world and do whatever
That'd be
you want.
crazy, dude.
Or
You
like
know,
what's
that's
the other
actually
one?
something so cool that I really wish that they would bring it. Because then, you know what that would do for gamers? It helped them with physical activity, physical fitness.
Yeah, if they could
You
somehow
know,
do it. I feel like that'd be kind of hard though. You would have to have like some type of like in Sword Art Online they have this like huge equipment that they
contraption.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
actually, no,
I hope we're here for the VR saga.
yeah.
I
I hope
really
so.
want to experience that.
Get to go play in any world you want. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go hop in the
Yeah.
whatever
And
Naruto
then
or something.
in the VR saga, you can go back to the Fortnite saga,
Yeah.
but you're like in the game,
Yeah.
like building, And oh, that'd be crazy, dude. That'd be some crazy stuff.
Yeah, that'd be.
I hope I'm here for it. I hope I'm here for that VR saga.
It's coming.
That's something I want to be a part of. We'll definitely be here for it. I think we'll be
fun. We could hope. I feel like there's so many like creating a system in like a physical world is one thing, but like creating something that your mind can go into, or like I guess that would be two different things. There's that if you
I'm
have.
Telling you, dude. With time, possibilities, so many doors open.
Yeah.
A year from now, there's some guy right now while we're doing this, designing a way for our minds to be injected into a game. Like there's some guy somewhere doing that right now, and we don't even know about it. But with time, so many doors and possibilities open. It's insane.
Right.
Like you don't even expect it. People expect some things, and then like a year later, they expect 10 times like the difference. Like it's like you get you get more than what you expected.
Yeah, it definitely it grows. I think there's two different parts. I think there's two different types of virtual reality that there could be. Well, there might be more, but there's the one where you put something over your eyes, and maybe like you move throughout space with the screen in front of you. And there's another one where you put something like in your brain or something, where you can close your eyes. You're not looking at anything besides like you're just going into your own brain inside of this world. I feel like that would be more complicated when like you try to do the brain thing.
You know about Elon Musk and his whole
Neuralink.
And I'm telling you, okay, we're kind of going off topic here, but we should definitely talk about that sometime soon because that's opening already crazy doors, literally insane doors like that you never even expected. All right, but we should definitely wrap it up here. Obviously, our first ever podcast, guys. Let us know how we did. Comment down below. Give us ideas, suggestions, anything possible, guys. This is our first time, first take. We're literally just trying our best here, trying to give you guys some good conversation, trying to, do something entertaining, trying to open some new doors for us. So, do you want to say anything, Icon?
Yeah, this is obviously our very first time. When we started this like we had no idea what we were going to talk about in this first podcast. We just started it, and this is where it led, and there was no like design or plan behind it really. So there's going to be a lot of random things that will be improved as the time goes on. Right now it's just the very first. It's like we just turned on, we pressed record, and we just did it. That's what we did here. So as time progresses, the things will get more professional, more lined up and synced, where it could seem more entertaining.
Yep, definitely agree. Also, thank you guys all, everybody that listened to the whole podcast. Really appreciate you guys being here. If you did stay to the end, I want you guys to type a code word in the chat so we know who listened the whole podcast. If you stayed until the very end, what should we have them type in the comments or something?
I don't know.
How about the code word saga? How about saga?
I was type in I and Y.
Or you can type in I and Y. Yeah,
I and Y.
I and Y. I and Y saga. How about that? Do the I and Y
just so you get it in your head.
Do I and Y. Alrighty. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.
Yep. See ya.